when it comes to implementing your system and culture here on defense, a lot of times when you get a new job, you're replacing or coming into a place that hasn't been
That's
very
right.
good. But
That's right.
here, Penn State defense has been very good for a long
Yes.
time here, and there's been a standard of excellence. How do you kind of balance implementing how the way you do things, but also that it's worked here a certain way for a long time as well?
Yeah, I took a lot of care in that, and
Mm.
and have a great deal of respect for that. And you're right. These players are used to playing great defense. They know how to be aggressive. They know how to hold the line, I call it,
Yeah.
and how important it is. So I looked at it from the standpoint, okay, these are the things that I like to do. How can I melt that into what they did in the past? And then, be really respectful of, as a player, as,
Yeah.
terminology and that sort of thing. Like, how
Mm.
can I get my ideas into the scheme, but utilize the same terminology, so
Yeah.
the players and the coaches still feel connected. So I took a lot of time with that.
Yeah.
It's maybe a longer approach to kind of dig through all those weeds, but
Yeah.
it's right for this situation.
Yeah. I was curious to ask you, you've been at a bunch of programs that have had high levels of success. What's a common thread that you've seen among the best, maybe it's head coaches, programs that have had consistent excellence? What's the kind of common denominator about all of them?
It's number one. I believe it's caring for the players. I mean that ultimately,
Mm.
you know, they're going to know how much you care about them.
Yeah.
From as a player, you're always going to know who's real and who's fake. And you care about them, and they know you care, and then you can push them and you challenge them, and that's
Yeah.
kind of what I've seen with the best programs that I'm around. They feel like they're part of something bigger than themselves,
Hmm.
and that they're not just a piece of the puzzle that's going to get cast away when
Yeah.
their time is done. They feel connected to something larger than themselves, and when players feel like that, they're willing to be pushed.
Hmm.
They're willing to be disciplined in a
Hmm.
in a positive way. They want to, say whatever you want about the younger generation, but they still want to be coached. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But as long as they know that you're going to have their back, and I think
Yeah.
that sense of responsibility that I think was a successful program of the coaches, meaning that if something goes wrong, you know, there's not going to be a bunch of finger pointers,
Mm.
and there's going to be coaches are going to accept responsibility
Yeah.
too, and I think that also uh, brings a lot of belief from the players.